Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing key advice for GCSE Maths Paper 2. So we've got Paper 2 coming up in a couple of days. This is just key advice and hopefully things that can help you just achieve the most from your last minute revision and achieve the best that you can possibly do on that Paper 2. Right, first piece of advice is use your calculator confidently. So there's no point, well, there's very little point going in using a calculator that you don't know how to use. So familiarize yourself with the calculator as much as you can. So paper 2 is designed for calculator use. It's your friend, not a mystery object. So you should be fairly confident with use of power, roots, fractions, and brackets. And make sure you use them carefully. Let your calculator reduce error, not create new ones. And if you're familiar with that with your calculator, it's going to be your best friend. And if you're guessing buttons, the calculator is going to be guessing back at you. So make sure you're confident with the use of your calculator. Right, piece of advice number 2. Write down what you type into your calculator. One of the major tips for paper 2 or for paper 3, write down what you're going to type into your calculator. So always show full calculations. Yes, even the brackets that you may have forgotten to put in the first time you looked at the question. This helps you pick up the method marks even if your answer is wrong. One of the biggest tips for picking up method marks on a paper 2 or a paper 3 is write down what you're going to type into your calculator. It also makes it easier to spot mistakes when things don't look correct. So that's one of the biggest pieces of advice. Write down what you're going to type into your calculator. And stating that the calculator said it is not valid working, unfortunately. So write down what you type into your calculator. Right, piece of advice number 3. Check your calculator settings. So every year I will see students, when I'm marking for the exam board, I'm marking for Excel this year, when I see particularly angles questions, so many students don't make sure that their calculator is in degree mode. So particularly for trigonometry, you need to make sure that you've got your calculator in degree mode. Quickly test the simple calculation before you start. So one of your exact trig values, you work it out using your calculator. That will automatically tell you, or hopefully tell you, that you're in degree mode. If you're not in degree mode, ask a teacher before you go in. So I will often spend most of my morning doing a breakfast warm-up and putting students' calculators into degree mode. Check that the fraction and the decimal display is working properly. So very often you've got something called a natural display. Occasionally the settings will get adjusted and your fractions and decimals don't appear as you are used to them. So make sure you've checked that before you go into your exam. One of the real common ones is your calculator being in radians mode, and it's the fastest way to lose marks quietly, because you can't you can kind of check, but I will often see students that have done a fully correct method, but they've got their answer wrong because they've left their calculator in radians as opposed to degrees. Right. Tip number 4. Again, show full working even with a calculator. So we've kind of mentioned this one already, but it's such a good point. I've mentioned it twice. So don't just write answers. Don't just write answers. Most marks come from the method. Break your complex problems into clear logical steps. So a bit of planning before you jump to your calculator is always, in my opinion, a real beneficial thing. So label key stages so the examiners can follow. So I will often, I've not got the web. If you've watched any of my videos, you will probably notice my handwriting is not very good. So I will often do a question, and if it looks all over the place, I'll go back and I'll number the steps, put them into little boxes just to make it nice and clear for my examiner. And then examiners can award marks can't award marks for thoughts in your head. So calculators can't award marks for anything that you do in your head. We need to see it on your paper. Right. Key tip number 5. Focus your revision on your high value topics. So particularly for your calculator paper, revise trigonometry, volume, graphs, and statistics. They're all key high value topics that are likely to be on those papers. These often show up in the longer multi-mark questions, so watch out for them. Be confident using formulas, not just remembering them. So make sure you know how to use your compound interest. Make sure you know how to use your trigonometry formulas. That's true with a number of the area formulas for area as well. These are the questions where you can really pick up big marks. So focus on high value topics because you'll like to pick up big marks on them. Right. Key tip number 6, practice your multi-step questions. So many questions on your calculator paper need several stages. Don't rush straight to the end. I often, and if you've watched my videos again, I will plan my questions out before I even look at touching my calculator 90% of the time. So many questions need several stages. Don't rush to the end. Work through each step carefully and in order. And keep your working organized so you don't confuse yourself. And then finally, skipping steps often lends to that not looking right. Skipping steps often leads to that looked right, but it wasn't. So watch out for your steps. Okay, tip 7. Be careful with your rounding. So keep the full value on your calculator. Don't ever, try to avoid ever using your calculator to work out an answer, rounding it, and then using that rounded answer. That will just kind of make the rounding error bigger and bigger each time you use it in a subsequent calculation. So aim to only round your final answer unless you're told otherwise. So early rounding equals slightly wrong, then very wrong when you use that slightly wrong answer in a subsequent calculation. So think of it like maths has a really long memory. It will punish early rounding. Right, point 8. Check your answers make sense. So often, particularly on a calculator paper, you should ask yourself, is this actually a reasonable answer? So do a bit of estimating in your head if you need to. So estimation is one of the ways that you can double check really quickly whether your answer makes sense. So watch for answers that are too big or far too small. Example of that, if you're asked, if you work out the length of a pencil to 3,000 meters, something's going to have gone wrong there. So make sure that your answers make sense. Right, point 9. Know when not to use your calculator. So again, if you watch my video or a number of other videos, you will see that we really only tend to do calculations, use a calculator, the final steps. We'll do a lot of the questions without calculators, even on a calculator paper. Reason for that is some questions are quicker to use a mental math. Simple percentages or fractions don't always need you to use a calculator. So you should be aiming to choose the fastest accurate method. So don't spend 2 minutes typing in calculators that something into your calculator that your brain can solve in a few seconds. Right, and a final calculator tip. Stay calm and work methodically. So that's a good tip regardless of a calculator or non-calculator. So take each question step by step. Don't panic if something looks unfamiliar, and focus on picking up marks wherever you can. So panic has never improved a maths answer. And that's scientifically proven, probably. Yeah, so what that means is think about your big questions. If you're struggling with a big question, aim to pick up a mark on that question. Don't try and, if you can't do something, aim to do some of it. Stay calm and work methodically. Right, the rest of my advice is for final preparation advice. This is non-calculator specific. So final bits of preparation advice. So the last few hours before your exams should be about staying calm, prepared and focused, not trying to cram everything at once. The night before the exam, do a short recap of key topics that you're likely to forget, like trigonometry, volume, and statistics. Practice a few exam questions focusing on clear methods, not speed. So a paper and a video that you've already gone through, look over it again. Practice a few more exam style questions, focusing on clear methods, not on speed. Check your calculator works properly. The battery is, not charged, but check that the battery's working. Check that the buttons, check that you've got your calculator in degree modes. Check that you're happy with the way that fractions and decimals are presenting. Avoid learning brand new topics. So this is not the time for one last video of a new topic. So avoid learning brand new topics the night before. The night before is about practice. It's not about learning something new. You'll struggle to remember it and you're likely to push something else out. So write a quick checklist of common mistakes that you make. So for example, if you often miss out your rounding, you often make a mistake with your brackets or your units, do yourself a quick checklist of your common mistakes. That's one of the key ways to make sure that you don't do that in the actual exam. And then the final one of that is try your best to get a good night's sleep. So tired maths equals bad math. I often and always struggle to sleep the night before something big's happening. The way I tend to take it is if I can't sleep, I'll put something on in the background, some light music, maybe a podcast, and I'll just stay still. Still and calm is a step below sleep. And then the morning of the exam. So that's the night before, the morning of the exam. Eat something and drink water. Your brain does actually need fuel. So if you can't face food, just make sure you take some sips of water. It is best to eat something and drink water, but staying hydrated is arguably more important than arrive early so you're calm and not rushing. Avoid one last minute panic conversation with friends. If you're in a position where you've got a breakfast warm up at school, like my school, try and arrive there and don't panic. Take things calm. If you're given a breakfast sheet, don't try and find the questions you can't do. Practice the questions you can do. And then if you've got chance, speak to your teacher about those ones that you're struggling with. So look over a few simple reminders or formulas. That might be trigonometry, that might be your volumes formulas. Give them a last look over. Remind yourself to show you're working and write your calculator steps clearly. So remind yourself that that's how you pick up your method marks on a calculator paper. So go in aiming to pick up marks step by step, not solving everything instantly. So the majority of these questions, you can't go straight to a final answer. You will have to do a step-by-step approach. And then finally, a calm, organized start can make a big difference. Being rested and ready is often just as important as last-minute revision. Other than that, the very best of luck for your paper twos. I hope it goes well. Uh, if you found that useful, subscribe if you like, turn your notifications on, and as soon as you finish sitting your paper and I get a copy of it, I will be putting together my predicted topic 3 papers. Uh, if you've got your notifications on, you'll get notified as soon as they're released. The very best of luck, and I'll see you soon.